So good morning. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. So today demo. So max I'll take 45 minutes to 1 hour. Okay. So I'm recording this session. After the recording, I'll give you that demo to you. So as a Google Drive, so you can access. So my full name is Mahesh Naidu. You can call me Mahesh. Okay. So now the agenda for today. So these are the main points I'm going to discuss. And so my biography. So I have a totally 11.7 years of experience. I completed my graduation in 2007 from Tirupati SV University. So I'm a sixth ranker in 2007 in biotechnology. And after that, I completed, I did two post graduations, so BSIM and MBA from one of the from the reputed Pune along with the Wipro Technologies, and I individually did a 1 year diploma from Business Systems and Information Management from GNIT. So after that, I started my career in 2007 December. So till date, overall I have 11.7 years of experience. I was working with different companies and different technologies. So I started my career with Sun Networks, and recently I resigned my job in IBM, and I'm currently working in one of the topmost wealth management company in Hyderabad location. So please do not ask me what is the current company name because of confidential. I'll not reveal the name. Okay, sorry for that. And well-known technology from my side. So I can teach. I'm experienced in VMware, Citrix, and AWS admin technologies. Like, I hope you know aware of these three technologies, very familiar in the market. Okay, in VMware, vSphere technology I'm teaching, and Citrix, Xenapps, and Desktop NetScaler in AWS admin part I'm teaching. Okay, and coming to the certifications, I did a VMware Certified Professional 6.5 and Citrix Certified Sales Professional in AWS, Amazon Web Services Certified Solution Architect, both associate and professional exams I completed. And I can speak English, Telugu, and Tamil. So, if you are not understanding any sentence, any line, you can speak any of these languages. You can communicate with me. Okay, and so let introduce yourself. Okay, let introduce yourself. So your requirement. Okay, so that I can able to guide this training will be helpful for you or not. I can give you that. So and I'll not recording the session for when you're giving the introduction from your side. Okay. So I'm stop recording. I'm just pause the recording now. So coming to that, the next slide, what is the cloud computing? So here the definition is very big, and the definition I'm taking from Wikipedia. So I don't read all these sentences and line by line. So because of, I'll give you some, I'll share some small experience and a small scenario. So then you can easily understand what is meaning of cloud computing. Okay. So before you want to understand cloud infrastructure, so we need to understand the computing. So basically computing is a computer. So there are three layers will be there. One is the hardware layer, and operating system layer, and application layer. So these are the three layers involving. You know very well of this. So as of today, so we are following the same structure, right? So as a company, they'll use a huge number of servers they're maintaining in the data center, like 10,000 servers, 20,000 servers, like that. They have individually they'll purchase hardware and install the operating system and installing the application. They'll keeping them in the rack and they'll maintain it in the data center itself. Okay, but one challenge is So every 4 to 5 years, they'll be selling the old hardware into the outside of the market. Again, they'll buying a new hardware. Okay, because of that, the technology is improving a lot. Okay, the reason why is we are upgrading a new hardware. So every 5 years, once the capital we need to install again, the business will be start from the zero. Okay, every employer have the same challenges in the market. So now they have a solution, they have some challenges like why should not install the multiple operating systems in a single hardware machine. Okay, so that's good idea, right? So instead of if example in your company, if you're running 10,000 servers maintaining, so each server they're running two operating system, I can run only 5,000 servers in my data center. So that is one of the good benefit, right? So then discussing, finally they invented there is a dual boot system. The dual boot system is nothing but example when you are installing operating system C drive, right? So by default, so automatically, so when we are installing the another operating system in the D drive, so like a C, D, E, F, like there are drives will be available in your system. Each drive has one operating system they're installing in a computer. But challenge is, so I cannot run all the operating system at the same time. There is a main problem here. There is a main problem here. So that is the reason. That is the reason. So again, they started inventing the hardware vendors. They finally concluded, hey, the motherboard of the system, which is connected to all the peripherals in the system itself. So now the motherboard is can support up to only one operating system at the same time. We cannot go for to support already running an operating system parallelly. I cannot run one more operating system because the system motherboard cannot support. So finally, the manufacturers they redesign the motherboard with a sharing capacity, with a sharing capacity. So that sharing capacity, with the help of they're installing multiple operating systems in a single machines. Even though not only installing, we can run the multiple operating system at the same time. So example, let's take example. If one machine we are running nearly three to four operating system. So previously we are using 10,000 servers. Now we can maintain 2,500 servers is enough because of one server is carrying four servers. One hardware will be carrying four operating systems. So that means one fourth of hardware we can maintain and we can utilize it. Example I am giving. Example I am giving. Don't take any calculations. Okay. So this is one of the best method they introduced it. Okay, but the operating system which we are installing on the machine, it cannot directly install it. Okay, so we need to install a piece of software. So first we need to install the software on the directly on the hardware. After that you can create a number of operating systems. So then you can build your infrastructure. So this is a way that developed the uh, technology. So multiple operating system they install on the physical computer. So finally, the day by day, the operating system which is running on the software, the new technology, that software we called as hypervisor. Basically, the software name was hypervisor. Name was given by IBM company in 1956. It's not a new guys. It's a very old. Okay, in 1956, IBM company was giving the name called hypervisor. So on the hypervisor, which of the operating system is running, that operating system we called as software computer. That operating system which is running on the hypervisor, that operating system we called as software computer. Going forward, so the name is changed to virtual machine. So this is a small example. This is a small story behind the computing. Understood? Any questions here? So
Yeah.
you can if you have a question you can release your mute and you can speak with me. If you don't have any question, you can ping in the chat. No, okay, no questions. Okay, if you have a questions, I'll stop and I'll give your answers, or else I'll move to the next one. I think you don't have any questions. So next, so everyone is set up these kind of labs, right? But here, when the immediately the customer is required the number of servers immediately for deploying a project, okay? So all of sudden, if any projects are coming immediately, so I don't have that much of amount immediately buying the servers. If you, even though money is available, if you're buying the hardware, installing the operating system, installing the applications, it's very risk job. So the the time taken is very huge time taken will be there. So for that reason, so what we'll do, there are computing services will be providing in the company, okay? So you can go there and you can buy it online itself. So online means internet line you can buy it. So example, if you need a servers, you can directly go there and you can buy, take it. If you need a storage, you can go and take it. If you need application, you can go and take it. So how much your usage of the machines, how much your usage of the storage, how much your usage of the application, you can pay for it. That's it. You don't want to pay entire cost of your the making your data center. So only pay per use concept they introduced. Okay. So now example, in this definition, on demand. Example, when I required a 10,000 servers or maybe 5,000 servers or 1,000 servers, I will go to the vendor, I will give you that request. I need 100 servers. Immediately they will procure it. Okay. And shared pools. I told you, no. So a single machine, they are installing a multiple operating system, that is called virtual machine on the top of hypervisor. So the the hypervisor technology, they'll follow shared pool concept. They'll use a shared pool concept. So the shared pool means they'll save the more amount of money. They'll save the more amount of money. Example, if I'm coming to Mumbai or maybe Pune, I'm staying 1 or 2 days. I don't buy a 3 BHK flat. I'm staying there. Okay, maximum I'll take any sharing room in the boys hostel, and I'm paying for it. So per day this much of amount. After my work I'll return it. Right. So this means sharing pool means, example, your physical machine has a memory, CPU, processor, hard disk, everything will be there, right? So that resources will be sharing among the multiple operating system. That means a sharing pool concept. So this will be a reduce uh, the investment cost. So rapidly provision. All of sudden we need 1,000 missions. All of sudden we need 100 missions. All of sudden we need 20, 200 missions. You can go and you can create it. You don't have any bother about that. Because of this is the virtual missions, you can directly select and clone the virtual missions and the backend. Okay, immediately the missions will be running very quickly and minimal management effect. Example, if the servers count is very high, so you need a system administrator, very important. So but now in this situation, we are running a virtual machines that also running on the hardware, and we are running a lesser hardware in our data center. Obviously we are maintaining the minimal management effect. The administrator cost, number of administrator will be decreased, and power usage will be decreased. The cooling of your data center will be decreased, and the size of your data center also become a small. So everything will be a very comfort zone in this. So now understood, right? So on demand, shared pool, rapid provision, and minimal management effort. All these things are helping in this situation. So all these services are accessing without your maintaining in your data center. You directly your paper use, you're using the system. But whatever the system you're using through internet line. So nowadays we called as cloud computing. Previously we called as internet line computing. Internet line computing means without internet we cannot access the services like that, right? So basically internet diagrammatically we are representing in the cloud structure. So the name was changed to cloud computing. Okay, so there is no rocket science behind it. So what is meaning of cloud computing? So internet line computing, accessing of the computer resources remotely, so with the help of internet. So basically it is called a cloud computing. So nowadays there are so many vendors that developing and different products in the cloud, they are selling it, and also they'll give you some service provider also there. Some companies service provider also there. So So one of the service provider is Amazon Web Services, like example Google Cloud Platform, Azure, Ravello Cloud, Oracle Cloud, Linux Cloud, etc. etc. There are so many cloud infrastructures are they giving support. Any questions, guys?
No, Mahesh.
Thank you. So now, if you move into the next slide, so generic cloud types. So you can choose any cloud. You can choose any cloud. So one of these model. So infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. I'll give you one example. So example, I'm running a company, small company. I need a web service. I need a 10 web servers. I don't want to buying a hardware, installing the operating system, installing the application. No, not required. You can go to Amazon in EC2. I can create a web servers 10 or 20 based upon my requirement, installing the web pages there, and I'm running it. So without buying a hardware, without configuring the operating system, so I'm directly going into Amazon Web Services. I'm running a web service. So infrastructure is maintained by a company called Amazon. So not only Amazon, there are many cloud vendors they'll be supporting, they'll be giving us services. Another example, I have a 10 GB of data I want to store somewhere else. So but the data I want to access anywhere in the world. So we have a Google Cloud storage. Google Cloud is there. So that is called Google Drive. So in the drive you are storing the data inside of the Google account. So wherever you go and you can access the Gmail account, you can download your data. So that means you cannot maintain any infrastructure like a storage. So that storage also you are accessing. So that storage infrastructure will be provided from the cloud vendor. So these are the examples for infrastructure as a service. So without maintaining of your infrastructure, accessing through internet and utilizing them. Next one, platform as a service. Example, you need a .NET, Java, so Oracle. So these type of platforms are readily available in the cloud. You can directly go and you can take it and you can utilize your requirement. Okay, so this is your platform as a service. This is your platform as a service. So now you don't want to install the platform and you don't want to install the call expert. So example, if you're installing the Oracle software without knowledge how you are installing the software on your laptop or your operating system, it's not possible. But platform as a service, you can choose the services, you can utilize them very easily. You can do that. So and as a developer mainly they're using a platform as a service, developers. And finally, software as a service. Software as a service. Example, so 3 years back, they introduced a concept called GST. Okay, so the GST we need to pay some amount, the tax amount to the government, right? But how we are maintaining the accounts? So there is a site name called Joho Books. So Joho Books is online computing. That person will come and they'll give you an application on the smartphones, and you can have a system. You can go to a website and you can enter all the details, and you can generate the report. Finally, it will tell you that hey, this much of amount you need to pay for government, right? So automatically you can pay the amount through Joho Books itself. So normally, if Joho is not there, what we should do? We have to install Tally. You have to dedicately system you need to maintain. You have to buy the license for the Tally. So there are so much of manual intervention is required. But software as a service was introduced to many concepts like Yahoo Mail, Gmail, Hotmail, Joho Books, Salesforce.com. So these all are helping. And Google applications also. Google application also. So belongs to SaaS applications. SaaS based cloud. Google Apps means what? Play Store, Apple Store. These all are cloud basically. So the application get everything in there, and you're directly accessing and installing an application. Okay, you don't developing any application there. So that is one of the best example for SaaS. Any question? No, right? So let's move to that cloud deployment types. So how we can build deployment. I think I can able to give that answer for Karthik, and someone was asking the question. So can we learn that VMware? Can we learn both along with VMware with AWS? Yes, you can learn. So based upon my experience, I am already experienced in VMware technology, so that I moved to cloud. So VMware is a hypervisor technology. So without hypervisor technology, cloud cannot be built. So if you learn the VMware technology, you know the scratch technology. You can easily understand how they made it, how what the technology they introduced. Everything you can easily understand. But it is not mandatory, guys. But it is not a mandatory. So basically, so based upon your understanding, so you should which one you want to understand. So if your company is willing to promote you or recommend you to learn the VMware technology along with that VMware with AWS, yes, you can go for learning. But if you don't want, only you are spending the amount from your pocket, can you please do not encourage and do not waste of your money? You can go with AWS directly. Okay? Hello? Hello?
Okay, Mahesh.
డెమోలో ఉన్నా మళ్ళీ ఫోన్ చేయనా?
I need a small question.
Okay. Yes, you can ask your question.
Uh, Actually, VMware, VMware not required, correct? Directly going to AWS, correct? It is possible?
Yes, yes. I'll give you the best answer after completing this slide. You can easily understand. Okay?
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
So private cloud. I told you, no. So private cloud is nothing but only single organization they'll maintain. So example TCS or IBM or Wipro or any company, they'll setting up their own data center either internally or externally by using this any one of these services like a SaaS model or PLAS model or IaaS model. Any one of these using, they'll be creating a they'll creating a cloud. Okay, so let's take example. So one of the company they developed, they using the software hypervisor technology. There are different types of hypervisor in the market, like a VMware hypervisor, Citrix hypervisor, Microsoft hypervisor. Any one of the hypervisor they can use, they can build own the data center with the cloud infrastructure. So that is called private cloud. So none of the other person cannot access. Only the particular organization can able to manage the complete data center. That is called private cloud. Either internally or externally can host it. That means internally or externally you can create your data center. So if you want to create a private cloud, you need a hypervisor, and this will be you are creating manually. So private cloud, if you want maintain, you want to go for learning development side. You want to go for development side, you need to learn that class. But it is not easy as much you are doing a private cloud, because of you need so much of experience to do the private cloud. You need a from the scratch level. You need a basic networking, operating system knowledge, application knowledge, and managing the team. Everything knowledge you require. And cloud basics. There's a separate course, cloud basics. What things we need to do, what things we not to do. Everything will be have a cloud infrastructure guides will be there that we need to refer, and you have to build your infrastructure. Is a private cloud. Understood? Any questions in the private cloud? And quite opposite for the private public cloud. So there are several organizations can be, several people can be accessing the publicly, they can provision their services. So there are third party company, they'll maintain a big data center, by online you are accessing and you're creating your requirement either SaaS or PaaS or IaaS. Example, Google Cloud. So Google, for example, Gmail. So you are directly accessing Gmail service and you are signing up and you're creating an account. It is called public cloud. Understood? We have a Google Drive. You can creating an account. You are accessing 15 GB of storage. That is also public cloud. Jopo Books. You are logging and you are utilizing that public cloud. Amazon Web Services, you log in and creating a servers, that is a public cloud. Azure, same thing, log in, creating a servers, public cloud. So public cloud is nothing but multiple users they can access publicly, and there are several organizations they using very massive production of environment. So there is no end for a public cloud. It's a very big data centers. It occupies an entire world. Examples are Azure, Amazon Web Services, Ravello, huh? So some other clouds, Alibaba, etc. etc. Any question? So now,
No, Mahesh.
yeah, community cloud. Community is nothing but what? What is the meaning of community? More than one people that joining one place we call community, right? Understood. So there are several organizations. There are several organizations. They're discussing. They're hosting their data. They're hosting the data. They're creating the data center externally. Externally, or might be sometime internally, that is called community cloud. Let's take example. So myself and Devidas, we both are market leaders. So, but unfortunately, we are both are maintaining the private cloud. Okay, our own money and we build our own infrastructure. Okay. After some time, and I got some huge data and I want to store it somewhere else. But private cloud is very highly amount I spend and I build it. Even Devidas also build the same kind of thing. So, but we have a unnecessary data will be there in my office, and I don't want to destroy it. I don't want to delete it. So I want to keep the data into the somewhere else. So I need a third-party data centers. You do not go for third-party data centers. So who are looking for the same like you can both are mingle each other, and you can create a data center. You're spending, you're funding the amount. Like if example 100% will be sharing between two people, like 50%, 50%, and like a 70-30 or 60-40, like the based upon your mutual understanding, you can create a separate data center either internally or externally. You can keep the data inside. Okay, you can run your services. That is called community. And you can invite someone also. So if you have a more capacity in your data center, you can invite someone to your cloud. That is called community cloud. But here one concept is, so private is your separate data and community is your mixed data. Mixed data, that your data also is there, someone data also is there. But in private cloud, only your data will be there. In community cloud, your data and someone other data will be there. But only your mutual understanding. Who are all coming and you are mingle each other, you are working together. Okay. Public cloud is not like that. You have a irrespective of people that are coming and they're doing the business. Okay, irrespective of people are coming, you don't know who are all coming and you are all going out, you don't know. But in a community, so who is coming in and who is going out, and you will be knowing each other. So every time, without your permissions, no one cannot entering into the cloud. That is called community model. And hybrid means you can choose more than one cloud, like a private cloud and community cloud, private cloud, public cloud, private, community and public. All three also if you are using together, that is called hybrid cloud. Okay. So example, my project will be running, some data will be running on the private, some amount of data will be running on community, some data centers will be running on public cloud. So that will be called as hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud are depends upon your usage. Okay. So this is your hybrid model, either internally or externally they are hosted. Either internally or externally they are hosted. So now you understood, right? Public means someone will already creating the data center, you're using that. Example, Amazon Web Services Azure. So remaining owner, you are creating your own. That means you are become as a developer, and you need to know, and like your VMware solutions or maybe Sun Server solutions or Microsoft Hyper-V or Linux hypervisor. So what are the hypervisor is available in the market, you are taking and you are building your own infrastructure. That will become as a cloud in that. So again, cloud will be either like a infrastructure you are building, a PaaS building, a SaaS building, depends upon you. Okay. Any questions? No. So finally, Amazon, they're giving three types of business. So Amazon consumer retail business. Example, someone was there'll be warehouse they'll be running. So the product will be they'll taking, they'll selling, and they'll getting some retail business from the Amazon.com. And there's a seller business. Example, there is a big companies like Samsung, LG, Nokia, Xiaomi. So there are different types of vendors. They are developing, they're manufacturing the products, and they'll come to Amazon. They'll get some agreements. Okay, this many pieces. If you want, you can take it. I'll give you this much of amount, and you can sell it. And if any product have any problem, I'll give you the service. So that is called seller business. They're doing an IT infrastructure business. That it is called Amazon Web Services, AWS. So and we are being part of Amazon Web Services. Okay, we are not part of Amazon.com or seller business. So, and this is the slide. And coming to that, we have a course content. So guys, this course content is updated, the latest features, and please go through it. I don't want waste of your time. And so each and every concept I was decided into by category level, service level, major service level. And so this will be mostly which is related to admin part only. Okay, admin part only. So please go through it. Please go through it. And this is your project work at the end of the course. So finally you will build this own structure in your account. Okay, so I'll help you how to create AWS account, and at the end of the course you will be setting up the one project. This is a project example. Okay, all the services will use and will create one project. This is one project, and I'll help you. So for doing a certification. Okay, so certification is not easy things, guys. So if you need any help, I'll give you that how to write an exam, and so what type of terms you need to prepare. So how you are maintaining the time management when you're writing the exam. So I'll help you on that. And apart from this is a complete AWS admin course content. Along with that, I'll help you for this time. So additional topics, that means additional services I'm going to teach you. Okay, that is called DevOps tools. So nearly 6 to 7 tools are available in the market, but so no one will not working on all the tools. So I'm working with these three technologies, like three tools: Chef, Docker, and Git repository. So Chef is a configuration management tool. Like example, if you have a bulk amount of servers, we are deploying a software from one place to multiple servers. So we are using Chef. Docker is a container-based services. Example, you are running a web service in a container. They'll use a Docker system. So it's a new technology, new model of delivering solutions. And a Git repository. All your is a repository based concept. So it's a GitHub. So whenever you want to developing a coding and all everything, you can place and store it that Git repository. So it's a GitHub. So I'll give you the example and how to use and where we need to get access and everything. I'll explain in that. So these are the three tools. With complementary, I'll give you that, and this along with this Amazon Web Services. Okay, and course fees, I'll individually, I'll pick that. Okay. If you have any questions, please ask. No, right? If you don't have any questions, so finally one message, stop recording.